league. We shooting at two different baskets. As a matter of fact, we pay two kinds of taxes. I mean, this dude says stuff like that. So when I'm moving...
Yeah, it's funny that I'm...
After they are done with Diddy, Jay-Z is up next to be exposed.
This was a side of Steve Harvey the world had never seen. No sharp suits, no jokes, no charming game show energy, just a tired man with a heavy look in his eyes. And across from him sat an interviewer, completely stunned, as Steve said the words no one ever expected to hear. "I knew her back when she was just a little girl," he said. "I tried to help. I really did. But this wasn't some sweet throwback to childhood memories or rehearsals in Houston garages. This was about Beyoncé, a chilling truth, a glimpse into a hidden past that, if real, could shake the entire image of the Queen of Pop and her secretive king to the core." According to Steve Harvey,
I've known Jay for a long time. I've known Beyoncé since she was 14.
Oh my God.
She used to come and sing at the hip-hop comedy stop in Houston.
he saw the warning signs early. A young Beyoncé, Brit-tied, golden-voiced, and full of discipline, gradually being drawn into Jay-Z's orbit. But this wasn't coincidence. It wasn't destiny. Steve claims it was all part of Jay-Z's blueprint. He had a plan, and Beyoncé was the centerpiece. She was just a teenager with raw talent and a clean slate, while Jay was already a rising legend, not just in music but in manipulation. Allegedly, he didn't just see a star, he saw a chess piece. And once the game began, not even someone as influential as Steve Harvey could pull her back. "I tried to pull her out," he reportedly told insiders. But once you're in Jay's web, you don't just walk away. And what a web it is. It's not just music labels and champagne clubs, it's ROC Nation, the 40/40th Club, and a high-powered network of insiders who allegedly owe him more than just loyalty. It's a fortress built not only with power, but fear, legal insulation, media control, and silence thick enough to choke the truth. This isn't gossip, it's documented fact that Jay-Z pled guilty to stabbing producer Lance Rivera in a Manhattan club. He's admitted to running drugs in his youth. He shot his own brother. That's not rap bravado. That's a paper trail of violence. And yet, somehow, it all faded into background noise. The billionaire suits, the family man image, the Grammys and gala appearances, they buried the past.
And I have to still say allegedly, has done things and allegedly participated in a lot of things that the public would not be happy to know.
Under layers of PR polish. But behind that shine, the rumors never stopped. They just stacked higher like receipts no one wanted to file. And Beyoncé, she didn't just stand beside Jay-Z, she stood in front, the shield and the silence. Her image protected him. Her fame camouflaged him. Or maybe, just maybe, she was never given a real choice. Look at the pattern. When disturbing allegations tied Jay-Z to a lawsuit involving a 13-year-old and an after-party from the early 2000s surfaced, his team acted fast. Blackmail, extortion, absurd. But the denial was only the beginning. What followed was a full-blown operation. Headlines retracted. Legal teams moved swiftly to expose the accuser. And Beyoncé, she stayed silent. No Instagram story, no carefully worded press release. Just another tour stop, another flawless photo drop, another layer of the illusion. But now, there's a whisper getting louder that Beyoncé might be trapped, not loyal. One industry insider said, the speculation around Blue Ivy's birth never stopped. Not the joy, but the motive. The phrase contractual birth keeps floating behind velvet ropes, hinting this wasn't just a family moment, it was a seal, a contract, a binding agreement, a pact. We don't know who signed what, but the implications are chilling. Beyoncé didn't just build a family. She may have locked herself to a man who, according to one explosive lawsuit, orchestrated unspeakable acts with his influence and connections. And as the Diddy documentary cracks the industry's polished surface, it's Jay-Z's past that's beginning to unravel, which brings us back to Steve Harvey, because when someone like him starts talking, it means that fire's already burning. He's not some clout-chasing blogger. He's corporate proof. So if he says he tried to warn her, the question becomes, what didn't we see? And the timing, almost prophetic. The Diddy and Jay-Z allegations didn't come as a trickle, came as waves. Lawsuits describing industry parties that sounded more like ambushes, undies spiked drinks, celebrities who looked the other way. One lawsuit even alleges a girl was restrained while Jay-Z and Diddy took turns while a famous female celebrity watched. This isn't internet gossip. These are court documents. Jay-Z dismissed it as a shakedown. Diddy's team called it fiction. But people don't go up against billion-dollar machines for fun. The lawsuit even states this happened at a party for Diddy's son, King Combston, years ago. But the names listed, huge. Beyoncé, Jay-Z, LeBron James, not as perpetrators yet, as witnesses, and right in the center, Beyoncé, or is she hiding? More than one insider has pointed out how quiet she's been. When Diddy got arrested, when lawsuit after lawsuit exploded, when connections between Diddy's inner circle and Jay-Z's empire got too obvious to ignore. Not one post, not one denial, Just radio silence. One source told In Touch magazine, they'll stay quiet. They can't risk implicating themselves. That word implicates different, and the theories they've only evolved. Like when Uncle Ron, Diddy's former bodyguard, posted one of the most unsettling videos of 2023 just days before he mysteriously died. In the video, he claimed Beyoncé was kept on substances intentionally. You keep her that way, he said. Why would someone say that about Beyoncé, the most disciplined performer in the world? And why would a bodyguard risk his life too? Say it, Ron went further. He said Diddy and Jay-Z wanted Biggie gone. That Biggie wanted to leave Bad Boy. That he was tired of being used. Ron suggested loyalty in that world has an expiration date and crossing that line has consequences. None of this has been confirmed. But if you follow the money, the media silence, the legal force fields, something doesn't feel right. What if Steve Harvey wasn't being dramatic? What if he did see it happening in real time? Beyoncé, once a prodigy rehearsing in church halls, slowly being absorbed by a machine she could never escape. A machine fueled by secrecy, leverage, and absolute control. Because if Steve Harvey couldn't help her, who possibly could? And if you follow the thread even further, you land somewhere colder than fame, colder than industry politics. Beyoncé, didn't just rise. She was sculpted, launched, engineered to perfection. One former stylist claimed her early career was choreographed down to the millimeter. Not just the routines, but the speech, the wardrobe, the branding. They made her untouchable, said a former label consultant off record. But who is they, and what did it take to create the most flawlessly controlled woman in music history? She's won more Grammys than anyone but Never Album of the Year. The shadows are growing longer. For years now, quiet murmurs have echoed through the darkest corners of the industry, whispers of rituals not meant for public eyes. Not the cheesy initiation stunts or Hollywood media training we're used to. No, these are off-the-record ceremonies, shielded from cameras and contracts, allegedly designed to seal loyalty for life. Some say they're symbolic blood oaths. Others believe they're silent signatures, unbreakable deals that tie artists to unseen puppet masters. And guess who's long been rumored to have attended one? A former assistant from a major NYC gala in the mid-2000s claimed Beyoncé arrived late, alone, and left like she'd seen the devil himself. Her team rushed her into a car that peeled off like it was running from something. No press coverage, no photos, just a chilling line on the internal call sheet. Special RSVP, no names. We don't know what happened that night, but something changed. Her voice stayed strong, but the tone of her music turned colder, sharper, like the soul behind it had shifted. It wasn't just evolution, it felt like a reset. Critics have said for years that Beyoncé seems to perfect robotic, polished, to the point of sterility. But what if that's not a flaw? What if that's the evidence? A mask, not a brand. One producer claimed she changed the moment Jay-Z entered a room, stood straighter, changed her tone, scanned his face before speaking. That's not love, that's control. Even her own sisters seemed to snap under the pressure. Remember the elevator? Solange kicking, slapping, unleashing hell while Beyoncé stood frozen. Not angry, not shocked, just still, like someone conditioned to never move without permission. The official line was just a family issue, but insiders say the tension had been boiling all night. One bold rumor from a ROC Nation intern claimed Solange had just learned something disturbing, something Jay-Z did, something unforgivable. When Beyoncé didn't react, didn't speak, that may have been Solange's breaking point. Her explosion wasn't legit, was desperation. A scream inside a luxury cage, and Beyoncé's silence afterward, even louder. No statements, no apologies. Just a cold remix lyric. Of course, sometimes things go down when there's $1 billion on the elevator. That wasn't just clever writing, that was a code, a warning, and despite all of it, the show never stopped. The twins came. The tours kept selling out. The image never cracked. But now and then, you catch a slip. A glare caught backstage. A stiff red carpet moment where she pulls away from Jay-Z's touch. The solo trips, the chopped hair. That sudden pixie cut in 2013 that she called a rebellion. I just wanted it off, she said. That's not fashion. That's a cry. A signal from deep inside the machine. Now the theories are multiplying. That Blue Ivy's early rise wasn't just proud parenting, it was long-game branding. That Beyoncé's so-called creative control is tightly managed. That even public appearances with Jay-Z are contractually obligated. One leaked memo from an elite event organizer claimed all Carter appearances required ROC, legal's pre-approval, and had to conform to brand standards. Translation: they weren't showing up as a couple. They were fulfilling a clause, and the Diddy connection, unignorable. Beyoncé and Jay-Z were consistently seen with him posing, performing, partying, a trio of royalty. But now, as Diddy's empire crumbles under trafficking charges, lawsuits, and FBI raids, the Carters have gone silent. Not a word, no statements, no denials, no distance. Just pure blackout. And in this world, silence is louder than scandal. It's not just about caution anymore. It reeks of fear. Let's not forget, Diddy's parties were the stuff of urban legend. And now, court documents are describing what allegedly happened behind those guarded walls. Celebrities present, minors involved, substances used, cameras hidden, power leveraged. Beyoncé's name pops up not as an abuser, but as a witness. But still no comment. No denial. Just the cold hum of a PR machine that knows one wrong move could bring it all crashing down. The truth: this industry doesn't run on talent alone. It runs on contracts, on silence, on leverage. Relationships are business. Friendships are clauses. And some of the darkest deals we'll never even see. But if Steve Harvey, of all people, is sounding the alarm, maybe it's time to ask what Beyoncé had to sign away to become untouchable. And if she's still paying the price, Beyoncé's repeated presence at Diddy's infamous Black Excellence parties has started raising more than just eyebrows. It's raising serious questions. What does she know? And more importantly, what does she owe? This isn't about guilt by association. It's about the unspoken currency of elite circles where secrets are collateral. Silence is protection, and proximity is strategy. Shielding someone like Diddy isn't just about loyalty. It's about preserving shared leverage, mutual knowledge, and maybe even shared risk. Insiders are now connecting dots that once looked harmless. AROC, Nation Business Exchange with Diddy's Media Arms, a secretive title event featuring names now embroiled in lawsuits. And a sudden freeze in collab just days before. Diddy's empire got raided by federal agents. These aren't smoking guns, but they're patterns. And in a world where reputations can flip overnight, being tied too close to the wrong man can take you from unstoppable to untouchable in the worst way. And while everyone speculates, alibis start floating. Jay-Z said he was with Beyoncé in New York the night of King Combs' birthday party, April 1st. But timelines aren't the only thing under review. For Beyoncé, the deeper dilemma is the collapse of her entire brand if even a fraction of these allegations prove true. She's not just a performer. She's the global symbol of female power, independence, and control. If Jay-Z's name gets dragged further into the mud, where does that leave the woman who stood beside him through it all? Is Beyoncé's silence a PR chess move, a cold strategy to preserve the brand at all costs? Or is it something dark? Silence, born of fear, of protection, of staying clear of a fall that could swallow everything she's built. Because make no mistake, this isn't about optics anymore. This is survival. The hierarchy is falling. Icons are being taken down. And every smile, every post, every staged photo op is now being dissected for signs of distress, detachment tour, damage control. So, is Beyoncé subtly escaping a storm she didn't choose, or trapped in a machine she helped create? The price of loyalty in this game is steep, and the cost of complicity, even higher. Piers Morgan, never one to hold back, allegedly cut Major Carter accusations from his show after immediate legal threats. Beyoncé and Jay-Z's lawyers didn't just deny it, they demanded removal. Fast. That kind of reaction, it speaks volumes. And then there's the eerie silence of those who tried to speak out. Like Uncle Ron. He said Beyoncé was being controlled with substances. Posted a video, deleted it, then turned up dead the next day officially. Pneumonia. But conspiracy theories are swarming. Because in this world, the truth doesn't just vanish, it gets buried under lawsuits, discrediting, and fear. And that brings us back to the moment that started unraveling the illusion. Solange in the elevator. One kick, one slap, and the stillness of a sister watching it all without blinking. What did Solange know? What pushed her to risk everything that night? And if Beyoncé has been carrying secrets all this time, how far will Jay-Z go to keep them hidden? The cracks are spreading, the shine is fading, and what's underneath may not be a power couple but a high-stakes arrangement, held together by NDAs, threats, and fear. So, we ask you, is this a love story or a long con? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Smash that subscribe button. Stay tuned. And remember, nothing in Hollywood is as flawless as it looks. Until next time, stay curious and stay sharp.